Whether you're new to Vigor or just want to improve your gameplay, follow these quick 5 tips and see your gameplay improve instantly. And this is coming from someone who's had nearly 9 months playing the game, even when it was very buggy at the start. These tips have helped me massively and will help you as well if you follow them exactly. Coming up first, at tip number 1, we have learn to drop shot. If you are unfamiliar with what that means, then I suggest you listen to what I'm going to say. Drop shotting is where you drop to the floor, usually by switching to a prone position, which is holding down the right joystick for a few seconds. You should always drop shot and prone to the floor just before your opponent or you shoot. The reason this works so well is because your opponent does not expect you to be on the floor when they are trying to fire it. It also allows you to dodge bullets and even have a smaller crosshair. This allows much more accurate shots, and drop shotting works really well when you're using shotguns such as the Silver Pigeon or the LZH, mainly because of the 2-shot ability to kill. The second tip we have is to go for the bard house and the time saves. Although they may seem worse than the crates on paper, 90% of the time when I'm playing, usually the crate tends to be worse unless it's boosted, and the bard house tend to have more loot and resources than the crate. This can help you massively when you're just starting out or just trying to level up your house, even with leveling up the battle pass. These safes are usually a lot less contested when compared to the crate, so if you are a new player or just want resources without the risk of losing all your loot, the time safe can be a challenge to open, so I will be making a video on that soon, so subscribe to not miss that. I tried to open it a few games ago when it just came out on the update, and I had no idea. It took me about 5 minutes and I almost died to the radiation, so I do not recommend just jumping into a game without watching a video. And this is one of the things that I have learned in playing Vigor. These saves can be very useful when you're just trying to level up your base, especially in the early stages when you need a lot of materials and nails and wire as well. However, the time save can be very challenging, and as well, like I said, the bard house can take a long time to open, especially when you're trying to get through the windows, and the safe itself, yeah, it takes a long time to open, so you are vulnerable to being contested there. Moving on to the third tip, we have spend more time in the shooting range. This is invaluable and I cannot stress this enough, especially with the pumpkin head targets. The men have the same amount of health as players in the actual game of Vigor. This can be incredibly valuable when trying to learn how to use certain weapons. My advice to you is, once you have found or crafted a brand new weapon, go straight to the shooting range and try find the best way to use that weapon. Learn how to control a recoil, where to aim on the body for the best damage and the best damage per second, and how much damage the weapon actually does. You don't actually know off the bat if it is a 1-shot or is a 2-shot. Most of the time it won't be a 1-shot, but if it's a 2-shot to the chest, or whether it's like 30 shots, like the Thompson or something, then you should definitely check out how much damage it does and see if it's worth bringing it into the actual fight. And you should definitely do this, and it's one of the most valuable tips that I was given. Just learn how to use certain weapons, and as soon as you do that, yeah, you can learn what's OP and what isn't OP, and yeah, you can look for them guns in actual games. The fourth tip we have is use the signal detectors. In Vigor, there is no better advantage than learning exactly where your opponents are. This literally tells you where you can find each enemy, and also can be very helpful for knowing if anyone's near you. Say you were going for the crate, you can always check with the signal detector beforehand, see if anyone is in that area or is looking to go for the crate. This can be used unlimited times in the game, but always remember this: it has a 2-minute timeout between uses, especially if you're a new player and don't know this. You should definitely wait 2 minutes and do not just stand right next to it, because you will get contested. Try stay in the local bush or just go run off and loot for the bit and then come back after that timer has gone. There's usually a red light on the box that tells you when it's off and when it's on, and you should see a green light when it's on. You can go up, press X, and you can see where everyone is. So that's just a tip for you. Finally, number 5, we have try to crouch when you're in medium to long range gunfights. It can make you a smaller target, as well as massively reducing the bloom on your weapon and making each shot nearly 3 times more accurate with weapons such as the AK or M2 carbine. You should definitely get into the habit of doing this in fight, as it can create such an advantage for you and such a disadvantage for the opponent. Once you start doing this, you'll see a massive improvement in your gunfights. It even works for close range. Say you're in a shotgun battle and you're the one crouching, you'll have such an accurate shot compared to the opponent, where if they're just stood up, and also they're not going to expect you to be crouching, which brings back to the first point about drop shotting. This can be completely invaluable when you're shooting with snipers or whatever and you don't have to heavy breathe. It is very helpful. And a little bonus tip for you guys as well, you can always use AKs and M2 carbines on single shot rather than on full auto to reduce recoil and improve your accuracy in longer range fights. Well, that is it. They are the top 5 tips I have for the most useful in Vigor gameplay. You should follow these completely, but that is not it. I have so many more tips to share, and I'm so excited to start this channel. So subscribe to the channel, and yeah, just don't miss any of the rest of the tips. And I will be uploading a video soon, which is similar to this and has more tips on such as the barn house or long range gunfights. So yep, you should definitely subscribe for that and turn on notifications. I am a new channel, so if you like the video, that will help me out a ton. And any suggestions for videos, yep, I will appreciate that. And yeah, see everyone next time. Bye.